So should we talk about the causes of pain? Number one, it's critical to realize pain is not an outside invader. You give your body what you need, the pain goes away. We're going to teach you what your body needs today based on the type of pain that you have.
Hey, it's Rob Renee. Welcome to the I Am Pain-Free podcast. Cool stuff. I have a really amazing doctor with us today, Mr. Teitelbaum. He is an incredible man, and he has some 50 years of experience in helping people. But the really neat thing is you learn about his story, how he started, right? And he dropped out of med school and was homeless, and learned a lot of things, techniques, etc., and met with amazing practitioners who were outside of the standard medical doctor program through that period, which really shaped the rest of his life, even after he went back into med school and got his white coat. So he's very holistic and has a great attitude and just helps people in dramatic ways. He talks about this incredible shine method, something you're going to want to really dig into and learn and listen to. He's a man of many talents, and it is exciting to have him on the I Am Pain-Free podcast. So let's go. Here we go. Hey, everyone. This is Rob Renee. Welcome back to the I Am Pain-Free podcast. I'm very excited. We have Dr. Jacob Teitelbaum with us today. And so really going to be exciting conversations because he is an expert in a number of areas. And so today we're going to focus on obviously pain, things that we've talked a lot about, but he's got some exciting strategies for helping people in that particular arena. So it's going to be an awesome day. How are you, Doc?
Indeed, doing great job. How about yourself? And aloha to everybody from the big island of Hawaii.
The big island. Well, so jealous. I love it. I love it. Glad to have you on the show. So just reading your background and a little information the time that we have had, it's just like, wow, you have a lot of experience and have obviously helped a lot of people. So real excited to have you share your expertise with with the community, right? So why don't you let us know, what got you started in this arena?
Well, like most doctors, I got into it the old-fashioned way. I found myself on the other side of the white coat. I had post-viral fibromyalgia when I was in med school. And of course, they saw it was a virus, but then 6 weeks, 8 weeks later, I wasn't better. They figured must be depressed med student syndrome or whatever. And since I was paying my own way through college and med school, I was homeless and sleeping in parks. I had to drop out of med school. And it's funny, it's as if the universe, like God put a holistic homeless medical schools on my park bench. I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, not far from Oral Roberts, actually, in a park over there. And all these different natural healers came by. I didn't even know such things existed. When I was a Jewish little kid, you want to be a healer, you become a physician, you become an MD, that's what it was. Learned energy medicine, biochemistry, all these different things on my park bench in Oklahoma, in Tulsa.
Wow.
I was able to cobble together a protocol to get myself well, went back to med school, and I've spent literally, this is 50 years since then, I spent that time researching, writing, teaching, publishing multiple textbook chapters, multiple research studies on effective treatments for pain, chronic fatigue, and fibromyalgia, and that includes long COVID.
That's so fantastic, because what the neat thing about that is, I talk about it quite often on the show, is pain is one of the most biggest issues that our society has today, right? If you look at our seniors, one study I saw is like 50% of our seniors have some type of pain or chronic pain, and then guess what's really close thereafter is fatigue. So for you to have that much experience in both of these areas is just phenomenal. So, and I love the part of your story where you said, hey, you're sitting at the park bench and you're learning about these different modalities and different things before you even went in and finished your med school, because I think that's a lost art, just based upon all my research on the medical industry and the thing I got, why I got interested in this field and in the first place was just when I found out the deception of what happened to our medical industry in the United States, right? And the research of our all natural health practitioners back in, about in the 1900s, about 50% of our practitioners were holistic, right? So, now, as you
There'll
were
be more.
saying, it's like so teeny, right? The people who are actually looking at people from the healer perspective and or just holistic, it's just like there's no the numbers are teeny. But anyway, so that's what got me into this. So it's kind of fun that you got that education as you were sitting on a park bench. That's so cool. And then obviously you've done great things with your knowledge and as you've gone forward. So just thank you for that.
Oh, it's a blessing and an honor to be able to bless and be blessed that way. I know what you guys are going through. Been there, done
Yeah.
that. I know that you can get out the other end and get
Yeah.
healthy again. My research shows it, our experience shows it. So, what I'd love to do today is help you understand pain, what causes
Perfect.
it, and that will help you learn how to make it go away. And
Awesome.
I've treated thousands of people with chronic pain. I can count on my fingers how many I've not been able to get good, solid pain relief for.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because there are lots and lots and lots of people who are suffering, right? And they don't know how to get well. And so I love this
Mm-hmm.
message. So let's help educate people. I'm listening.
Okay. So, should we talk about the causes of pain?
Let's do it.
Number one, it's critical to realize pain is not an outside invader. It's not like an infection or something like that your body is fighting off. Pain is more like the oil lights on your dashboard. You know how your car has all these warning lights saying something needs attention. And if there's not enough oil, you get this red flashing oil light. Your car is saying, put oil in me. This is what pain is. Pain is the warning lights telling our body that something needs attention, but it doesn't tell us what. It does, but not in the language we can clearly understand. So instead of standard medicine's approach, which is if there's an expensive medication that's toxic, throw it at the pain, or if you can slash for cash, if you can operate, do that. It doesn't learn about what the body needs. Most physicians are not trained almost at all in pain management. So once you understand what's causing your pain, just like the oil light is pain, you put oil in the car, the oil light goes out. You give your body what you need, the pain goes away. We're going to teach you
Beautiful.
what your body needs today based on the type of pain that you have.
I love it. I love it. So I think that's a great analogy, right? Because people can all understand that. Like, hey, I've got a warning sign, and that's just all pain is telling me there's a warning sign. So then we need to figure out why you have that warning sign, right? So
Mm-hmm.
how do you help people discover what it actually is?
Okay, so first of all, I want to note something about x-rays.
Okay,
X-rays,
perfect.
unless they show a fracture or you have, say, disc compression, which everybody has, that is associated with a reflex, loss of a reflex, the x-rays are meaningless. They really are. They've done studies looking at back pain, jaw joint pain, and they found that if they did them on healthy people and people with severe pain, the radiologists read everybody as, oh my God, horrible, looks like a war ground, disc disease, all this stuff. But when they put them all up, the healthy and the pain people, the radiologists could not tell them apart any better than chance.
Wow,
So when
interesting.
you go and the doctor says, oh, horrible arthritis, joint on joint, it doesn't mean anything. You'll see joggers running down the street with their x-rays joint on joint with no pain. Let
Awesome.
go of that, but realize that's nonsense. The x-rays serve a purpose, but only if you know how to interpret them. Most doctors
Okay.
don't.
Super good to know. Very, very good. Because they're also very toxic, right? I mean, just X-rays
Yeah.
in general, right? They're not great to get often. So
They're reasonable. I'm more concerned about how the overinterpretation leads
yeah,
to
there you go.
unnecessary surgery and not getting proper pain relief.
So-
But yeah, do you want radiation? No. Okay, but
Right.
I'm not concerned if people get the x-ray. There, we can break it into even 9 key areas of pain relief.
Okay.
Most pain in this country is muscle pain. And doctors have a vague thing that there's such a thing as muscle pain and muscle relaxants. But beyond that, clueless, utterly clueless. They don't know how to do an exam. And how do you tell? If you're pushing over a bony area and you can reproduce the pain, it's almost always going to be muscle pain. So say you have headache and you've got a headache at the top of your head, the back of your head, you push at the base of the spine, an inch over to each side at the bottom spine, and you'll find there's a tender area. Just push with your fingertip with maybe 5 to 8 pounds of pressure, and you'll find a tender area. And then if you keep pushing on that, with a good 8 pounds of pressure for 45 seconds, you'll find that pain starts to radiate to the different areas and reproduces it. This pain over here, you can push on the muscle right here. Muscle turns the head side to side,
Right.
and you'll reproduce the pain because it'll start to radiate. But hip pain, say you have pain here. Okay, so you push along and you find a tender lump that feels like a tender marble that reproduces the pain. You're not right over the joint. You're not quite close enough to be a tendon. That's muscle pain.
And
So
that one on your arm is for your hip and joint. Is that where you said your hip?
same thing, all over your body. If
Okay.
you can push on it and feel a tender marble and reproduce the pain, it's probably muscle pain. Now, some organ pains can do that. That's beyond the scope of here. But
Right. Right.
in most cases, you should start thinking that way. I can push on it, reproduce the pain without the light touch kind of a thing, but with deep touch. Muscle. So,
Interesting.
muscle pain is low energy in the muscles. Muscles are like a spring. They get stuck in their shortened position. It takes more energy to stretch that spring. And if it doesn't have energy, it just contracts. Your muscles, when you don't have energy, get stuck in a shortened position. They hurt. Anything that puts energy into the muscles, such as B vitamins, magnesium, a heating pad, infrared, any kind of mini laser lights, you put a needle in, you turn it, you create an electric current. You have patches that you're talking about that go ahead and help restore energy. Anything that restores energy production in the muscle helps the muscle release.
I
Does
love
not
that.
need to be complicated.
I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so there we go. We got one. That's what. Let's talk about what's after muscle.
Okay, so let's talk about inflammation.
Ah,
Inflammation's a biggie. That's the second biggest cause of pain. When you say inflammation, what are we looking at? Things like arthritis or anything that ends in itis.
yeah.
We look at this arthritis medications called NSAIDs. Care to venture a guess how many Americans die from those medications each year?
Yikes! Yikes! I would say lots.
50,000.
How many?
50,000.
Wow, that's
And
a
that's
lot.
conservative and ignored.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
So what do? Say you have arthritis. One, you stop inflammation. The two premier herbs for stopping inflammation are boswellia and curcumin, but
Mm,
they need to be highly absorbed forms of curcumin, otherwise you're going to be taking 50
okay.
pills a day. I like one called Curamin, Curamin, and give it 6 weeks, 1 to 2, anywhere 3 to 4 tablets a day. It's been a pain relief miracle for people with arthritis and most kinds of pain. And then you want to rebuild the joint. Glucosamine plus chondroitin. In
Okay. So
head-on
say that
studies,
last one again.
glucosamine sulfate,
Okay.
750 milligrams twice a day, plus chondroitin, 400 milligrams 2 to 3 times a day. The NIH did a study that showed that it was as effective as Celebrex, but the study was run by the drug industry,
Mm,
which tortured the data and put out, oh, it didn't work. It worked every bit as well. And
yeah, isn't
instead
that
of
amazing?
50,000 deaths, glucosamine 22% lower risk of death than placebo.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. In fact, even going back to the one you mentioned before, the curcumin and boswellian, that boswellian is frankincense, right? Which is most people don't understand that because I'm working on some products and that's one of the ingredients. And in fact, there's cumin and frankincense in the product. So
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing for helping with inflammation reduction, which obviously you just mentioned that's one of the first things you do to help people. So that's really cool. So I'm super excited about that. Thank you for these remedies are going to be awesome for people. So I
Yeah,
really appreciate that. It's helping
they,
us.
yeah, these are
I,
easy to find. They're cheap. They're safe.
yeah, and they're all
Yeah.
natural, God-given herbs, right? So it's like I tell people God gave us an amazing, incredible body. If we just give it what it needs, it can heal itself. But most of the time, we don't know what to do, right, or where to get what we need, and etc. So we need people like Dr. Jacob, right, or Dr. Teitelbaum to help us. So thank you for that. This is good stuff. So we've got muscle, we've got inflammation. Are you done with the inflammation piece? Are you ready to move on? Or
We
you
can
want
move
to?
on because there's a bunch of them. Nerve
Okay.
pain. So nerve pain is really
Nerve.
common. You know how you get the shooting pain,
Yeah.
it hurts to touch. And basically the doctors can test for nerve pain that they're pretty good with, but you can get an idea. Sciatica type pain tends to be compression. When you have the nerve pain, that's an energy crisis in the nerves. The
Okay.
nerves actually have a little pacemaker, just like the heart does, that tells the nerve to fire. And it takes energy for the pacemaker to be at rest. When there's drop in nerve energy, it keeps firing, and then it hurts. So things like lipoic acid, 300 milligrams twice a day, acetyl L-carnitine, 1,000 milligrams twice a day. And this is a case where there are many medications that can help. Most don't, but there are ones that do. There's a healthy feet and nerves product, which is superb, that you can use, and a good multivitamin. Anybody with chronic pain should be taking a high potency multivitamin powder, not with the RDAs, which I call ridiculous dietary allowances. Those are
Mm.
enough to keep you from getting scurvy or rickets, but they're not enough to optimize things. There's a vitamin powder called and write this down, get the Energy Revitalization Drink Mix.
Energy revitalization drink.
It's funny. I had one person when I used to live on the Chesapeake Bay, and I was walking along the bay, the side of the docks, and this guy starts eyeing me from across the street. And he's eyeing me. And suddenly he tears through traffic. He's weaving through traffic, and comes up to me and says, "You're Dr. Teitelbaum, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he lifts me up in this big bear hug. And I said, "We have not even had a first date yet. Please put me down." I said,
Right.
"Sorry, but I had horrible back pain for 20 years. Nothing could help it." And I took that vitamin powder. I designed it. My royalties go to charity, but and my back pain went away. You'll be amazed at what heals up if you simply give your body optimal nutrition, because the
Awesome.
American diet is awful.
Ah, yeah, I love you, Doc.
Nope.
That's my total, yeah. That's the thing that I'm just stumping right now because people just don't get it right. Our American diet is so bad, and like you said, I loved what you said about the RDA. Say that again. What is the RDA?
The RDA is what the government sets as recommended daily allowances, but they're really ridiculous dietary allowances. They are based on what it takes to prevent deficiency disease like scurvy, rickets, or beriberi, and then they add some extra for safety. What I do is I look at the research. I'm a science geek.
I
I go
love it.
through the scientific literature and I see what the optimal level of each nutrient is. And
Yeah.
that's what I ask the company to put in.
Perfect.
So again, energy revitalization drink mix. It's the best multi-nutrient. Like I say, it'll replace over a dozen pills. You'll like it.
I love it. Yeah,
And
I'm
it's a good
excited
place to
to
begin.
get some more information about it. We'll make sure we have that in the links in the show
Mm-hmm.
notes so
Mm-hmm.
people can get well. I love it. So we've done of muscle inflammation and nerves, right? So
Let's go migraine.
migraine. All
Okay.
right, sounds good.
So most of you with headaches, if you have a headache across the forehead, top of the head, base of the spine and neck, vast majority of the time it's tight muscles and trigger points in those areas. Start with a heating pad. You'll be
Okay.
surprised that don't set it low, set it to turn off after 2 hours so you don't fall asleep and get a third-degree burn with it. But it can make a massive difference. Migraines, though, are different. Those last more than a day. They're usually going to be one-sided. They have the aura, and most of you who have migraines know it. Migraines are not that hard to treat. Food allergies play a big role, and those I talk about those in other writings that I do. Vitamin B2, riboflavin, 400 milligrams a day decreases migraine frequency by 67% after six
Wow,
weeks.
I love
You'd
that.
think everybody would be on it. And magnesium lowers migraine frequency. The vitamin powder I mentioned has both of those, allows 75 of the B2 and 200 of magnesium, which is enough to really help over the 6 week period. But then if you are taking the migraine medications, this is the thing where you want to start the medicines early, not late. Because as soon as you start getting tenderness around your eyes and ears, like your earrings hurt or your glasses hurt, your gut is going to sleep and it won't absorb the medication. And if you go, oh, I missed the magic window and this is going like this and I need to take whatever you're taking, even Excedrin migraine is as effective as Emitrex. They don't talk about that, but that's what the studies show. Take some caffeine, a cup of coffee, it will wake your stomach up enough to help that whatever treatment you take get absorbed.
Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting.
For the migraine. I
So,
know we don't like to talk about medications, but
no,
mostly we'll
that's
focus on natural. But
right. No, but that is fascinating too. That if you do get to a point where your body isn't absorbing the nutrients correctly, because you've already gone past the point of a place where that could help, is to revitalize that. I'm just summarizing. You're just tell me if I'm right. Is that if you drink a little bit of caffeine and then you take the nutrients, your body will absorb those like they should have on a normal person who hasn't gone that past that point of no return. Is
yes,
that
this is for
accurate?
migraines. The
For migraine.
migraines put the stomach to sleep,
Got it. Got it.
unlike other
Okay.
pain.
Yeah, probably because your body is dealing with the trauma and issue with the pain instead of focusing on your gut health, right?
Well, there's a
Do
whole
I think
neurologic process that does it.
right?
Enough said that it just your guts out of the game.
Got it. Got it. Got it. I like it. All right, so we're waking
Okay.
up the gut with some caffeine. We get our nutrients. We're gonna get rid of our migraines.
Yeah,
That's
and vitamin
fantastic.
B2 and magnesium. Easy
Okay.
peasy way to start. There's a host of other herbs that can be very helpful as well, but start with those simple things.
Okay.
Um,
Fantastic.
what I will note, there's a app called Cures A to Z, Cures, capital A dash Z. Or better yet, my book From Fatigue Fantastic will go through each of the kinds of pain and how to make them go away. A
Okay.
third of the book is on that.
We'll make sure we have that book on the show notes as well.
I appreciate it. It's a shameless plug, but it's a great book. I'll
No,
make
it's a
that.
it's a great book, and you were helping people. Let's go. Let's go.
That's a good one. All of you who have chronic pain, once that oil light's been flashing for 3 to 6 months and the person's not listening and putting in oil, it starts to get more insistent. And our bodies are built beautifully. So it's a level. Okay, first you get the pain, then it amplifies. And that's called central sensitization or brain pain. And if you have chronic pain, you've probably got that going on. And then just taking care of the other causes may not be enough. I'm going to give you a wonderful thing. This is another one to write down. It's PEA. I'm not talking about those green round things that you can flick on spoons at the other people at the table. Yeah, I don't think you got to invite them out much, but it's the palmitoyl ethanolamide. It has to be a high absorption one. So there's one called Healthy Inflammation Response by Terry Naturally. That's one I would use. Email me for a free information sheet. If you have fibromyalgia, you can ask for that. If you have neuropathic pain, you can ask for a chapter from my book on nerve pain. If you ask for the PEA information sheet, if you have chronic pain. And there are over 30 studies, this is thousands of people in studies on chronic pain, where they give the PEA. And it can be as early as 3 weeks, but I tell people give it 2 to 3 months. The response, for example, for disc disease, low back pain, and other compressive symptoms, another large study just showed 70% average drop in pain.
Wow,
If they had a
awesome.
medication that did that or surgery, it would be like 24,000 a year for the medication, and everybody would be on it. But the dosing is a little tricky. You can use as little as 600 milligrams a day. A pain expert in Europe, who I have a lot of respect for, who did that study, he uses 1,200 milligrams a day for a month, and then he takes it up to 2,400 milligrams a day for 2 months, and that's his trial. He sees what it does for you. And then you can drop the dose back. But use the healthy inflammation response, former PEA. Email me if you'd like at fatigue, F-A-T-I-G-U-E, doc, that's D-O-C, so fatiguedoc at gmail.com. And let me know what the kind of pain is so I can tailor the sheets that we send you. And because I know they call me Rambling Jack was my college nickname. So it's a lot of information. I'm trying to give you a flavor of what's out there, but this will help with that. But the PEA, along with whatever other pain medications and treatments are doing for any chronic pain, there's say over 30 studies now looking at, and I was shocked because the most recent study I saw was compression pain, like
Mm.
back pain, and it's dramatic. And it was a placebo-controlled study. So there's a lot that you can do.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome. So, if there's want to go through something after migraines, are we off to another one, or what? Where are we?
We got three more for it. Number one, for those of you with CRPS, It used to be known as reflex sympathetic dystrophy. That's one of the worst kind of pains there is in the world for chronic pain. I spent the first 20 years in practice. Every pain conference I went to, and I would lecture frequently. So I would meet the experts. I was looking anything for CRPS yet, anything for CRPS yet. And then finally, about 20 years ago, there's a crack in the wall and stuff. We started having treatments that work. It's too complex to go into here, but these are things you can do on your own. The PEA is one of them. Email me and ask for the CRPS information sheet if you have CRPS. It'll walk you through it. All of these are free, by the way. So I'm just happy to, and please share the information. The drug companies' media will not get the information out. Right. That's up to us.
Yeah, we need to get that information out. So that's fantastic. Yeah, we'll make sure we have your email there, and then the things that people can request information for. So love it. This is great.
Mm-hmm. So let's do one more kind of pain, and then we'll go more into general how to start. Sinus pain, bladder pain, irritable bowel syndrome, basically the hollow organs. What's going on in most of those, the chronic sinusitis, if it's not seasonal, Mayo Clinic Journal study showed over 90% is coming from fungal infections or immune reactivity to fungal elements, to be more exact, but basically candida overgrowth is what I call it. Irritable bowel syndrome, most of it is going to be either fungal, or if it smells like rotten eggs when you pass gas, it'll be bacterial overgrowth. And both of those, the book talks about both. But for the candida, you need to kill the yeast. What happens, you keep getting antibiotics because it gets blocked up. Anything that gets blocked gets infected. So they give you an antibiotic, and antibiotics cause yeast infections. It makes the underlying problem worse, and the sinusitis becomes chronic. So antifungals, you can ask me for the antifungal information sheets when you email me at fatiguedoc@gmail.com. And it'll go through, here's the things to do naturally. And I will use prescriptions for these as well, but it's hard to access a lot of the prescriptions. I think things that are accessible to you are what I want to focus with. So there's B-propolis, the berberine. Berberine is awesome for killing off stuff you don't want. And so things along those lines. And if you have, and you'll find that the gut, the IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, just means you have gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation. Your doctor doesn't want to know why. They don't want to say, I don't know why you got it. So they slap a name, irritable bowel syndrome, on it. Have a nice day.
That's pretty good, because there are so many different variations of what people think that is, right?
Yeah, and it's very treatable. You just treat the root causes again. And candida, fungal or bacterial overgrowth, mostly fungal. Is key. But like I say, you can tell the bacteria because your gas will smell like rotten eggs. Think silent but deadly back in grade school. That's bacterial. Right. Think you can fill a weather balloon but not much smell. That's fungal. Yeast ferment. They make gas, but they don't break off sulfur, amino acids, blah blah blah. It doesn't smell like rotten eggs.
Very good. Very good. That's a lot of education. This is a fantastic. Did you want to talk about a little bit more of a generic topic? Was the last thing you wanted to do? Yeah. Was that right?
A couple things. Number one, what happens when you get all of these kind of pains together? And we'll throw in allodynia, which light touch hurts. You get that's fibromyalgia. That's how I learned about all of this, because all of these pains are present in people with fibromyalgia, with the exception of the reflex sympathetic dystrophy, CRPS pain. That's not. So if you have tired, achy, brain fog, can't sleep, the paradox, if can't sleep despite being exhausted, and you have widespread pain, this is very treatable. Our randomized double-blind placebo-controlled study showed that 91% of people improved, with an average 90% increase in quality of life. That's a lot. Wow. By using the SHINE protocol, optimizing sleep, hormones, despite normal tests, the labs are god-awful, infections and inflammation, nutrition, and exercise as able, not too much because you'll crash and burn, but little bits to prevent deconditioning. 91%, average 90% improvement. Pain dropped dramatically. Most people no longer qualified as fibromyalgia because their pain went away by the end of the study. So we'll talk about this, little teaser. Stay tuned for our upcoming episode on fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome and how to optimize energy, because optimizing energy production is the key to recovery in fibromyalgia.
Oh, awesome. And using the shine method, right?
Using the SIGN protocol. And you can email me at fatiguedoc@gmail.com and ask for the fibromyalgia information sheets.
Perfect.
I'll send you those too.
That's fantastic, Doc. Man, you've really helped us a lot. We've given us a lot of information about a whole host of pain issues. Right? What does the definition of pain, and then with each of those areas of pain, you've given us real concrete ways for us to help people. So, man, this is amazing. So, I really appreciate you. Is there anything else from a pain perspective you want to chat about today?
Like I say, start with Curamin, not curcumin,
Okay.
but Curamin, and the PEA, not any PEA, but the healthy immune response. You can find them both on Amazon. You can find them on my website too. But I can't really talk about my site if I've talked about treating disease. Freedom of speech is something. Remember that in 1700s, there's this freedom of speech we had. Anyway,
Right.
God bless them. Anyway, but start with the Curamin, start with the PEA. Give these 6 to 12 weeks. Start with the vitamin, the energy revitalization drink mix. Those are 3 simple things to begin with that can rock your world.
There you
And like I
go.
say, email me for the information sheets. I'll give you the dosing and information on these things. And if you have fibro too, then ask for that. All of these will give you, here's a breadcrumb trail. Here's a path you follow to get from where you are to where you want to go.
Fantastic. All right. Well, Doc, this has been amazing. I really appreciate you. We'll make sure we have links to all of those resources down below. Obviously, the big one I want to make sure people remember is fatiguedoc@gmail.com, right? Is it fatigue doctor or fatigue
No,
doc?
Fatigue Doc.
fatiguedoc@gmail.com. So
That's
we'll
my
make sure we
personal
have
email
that down
address.
below. But yeah, send him an email. He'll get you some free information, and you're really going to improve your pain. And maybe a lot of us know someone that has pain or chronic pain. And so now we have concrete ways for people to get well and get healthy and get off of big pharma drugs. So with that, we're going to sign off. Thank you so much, Doc, for spending time with us. And I'm looking forward to our next episode on fatigue. So appreciate it. With that, we're signing off on the I Am Pain-Free Podcast.
Aloha, everybody.
As many of you know, my focus at the I Am Pain-Free Podcast is help as many people get pain-free as possible. And we strive to use all natural and alternative therapies to accomplish that goal. Well, today I'm thrilled to introduce to you a revolutionary product that aligns perfectly with our mission of natural health and well-being. It's called Exodus by Exodus Strong. At Exodus Strong, their mission is to help you break free from the grip of big pharma and embrace natural solutions that promote vibrant health. With a foundation rooted in the wisdom of the Bible, the all-natural supplement harnesses the power of 7 key ingredients specifically mentioned in the scriptures. The flagship product Exodus is designed to be transformational, providing benefits such as energy enhancement, stress relief, blood sugar stabilization, pain relief, and anti-inflammation. So join the movement, right, to help them get 1 million new people to read the Bible every day and transform their health naturally. When you purchase Exodus, use code IAPF at checkout to receive a special free gift with your order. It's time to exit the old you and step into a new chapter of vitality and well-being. To get there, you go to exodusstrong.com. So it's Exodus, EXODUSSTRONG.com. And check out and use that IAPF for the I Am Pain-Free Podcast. And then you'll experience the benefits of the Exodus mineral blend. This mineral blend is amazing. It's got the molecular hydrogen generating formula that's backed by hundreds of scientific studies. So begin your journey feeling great and looking great. Don't miss the opportunity to take control of your health with the all-natural way. So go check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it.